Huh? Eh? Well, why didn't announcer Joy tell me he was getting the day off this week? Just can't get the stuff these days. Anyway, hi everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Whothoughts. Now, apologies for not having this last week, but unfortunately plans got in the way, and I was recording it on Bank Holiday Monday. Unfortunately, my sister interrupted the recording, so I had to scrap it. But look at you, I'm here now, so let's get on with the continuation of the 11 phases of Doctor Who review season. So, as I said, we're on the John Pertwee era, and obviously what I chose, I was in the middle of reviewing and my sister interrupted me, was The Three Doctors, the first ever multi-doctor story, the 10th anniversary episode, and the story that launched the 10th anniversary season of Doctor Who, starring the first three Doctors, William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, and John Pertwee. So, let's go ahead and review the episode. And by the way, of course, there will be spoilers, but seeing as this DVD came out in 2003, and the thing was originally broadcast in 1972, I don't think there wouldn't really be that many spoilers, but a spoiler warning anyway. So, what a story. I mean, what a story. Is that good? Okay, so basically, the whole premise of the story, like this guy, starts off with this guy, Mr. Ollis, and he's standing in this box, and there's this strange light, and he's looking at it, and in the box, and then big huge flash of light, and he's transported into another universe which we didn't know about yet. I mean, it's just so funny how it happened. He's just looking down and he's like, boo. So funny. Anyway, so Dr. Tyler basically contacts Eunice and tells the Doctor, Joe, and Brigadier about what he saw on the X-rays that are in the little camera box, and grant him full access to the Doctor's lab. I like how Brigadier likes to just basically he just managed to grant permission to this Doctor to use all this stuff. When there's like a big sign outside the headquarters, unit headquarters, top secret, and the Brigadier even makes a point like, we're meant to be a top secret military organisation, followed up by the line, Liberty Hall, Dr. Tyler. Liberty Hall. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds cool though. Anyway, the little antimatter creature basically escapes from the little box and takes Dr. Tyler, and basically after exploring and chatting to Mrs. Ollis, the Doctor and Joe come back, and then the little glob takes Bessie. You don't do that. You don't take the Doctor's car. Anyway, second little plot point. The Time Lord home planet is being now using all its power, which is now being trained into this antimatter universe. And the Time Lords come up with no other option. We have to bring all the Doctors together. So they can't find the first and second Doctors, and they send Troughton's Doctor into the unit lab, into the TARDIS control room. I like how Benson's reaction when he enters the TARDIS when the creature comes into the lab. So I was gonna say it's bigger on the inside than the inside, and Ben's like, well, it's kind of obvious. I love Sergeant Benson. Sergeant Benson is cool, but he's not as cool as Captain Yates. Anyway, so the second Doctor appears. Well, actually, his recorder appears first. I like how they call his recorder a flute. I am dead serious. And I'm looking at it. I know like it's potentially written as a joke, but I mean I play a recorder, and I'm looking at it. I was like, it's not a flute. It's a recorder, you idiots. And then, so basically, the second and the third Doctor will be working together, like on all the action stuff. And then the first Doctor will give him like little help from his little seat in his little pod through the TARDIS view screen. And the reason it's done is because at the time, Hartnell wasn't feeling that well. You know, he was nearing the end of his life. And the production team didn't want to risk, you know, him doing any of the physical action scenes, because there would actually be a question over how Hartnell would do them. So they just said, they just calmed down, sat him on a chair in Ealing Studios, and had all obviously quote cards written up, and all his lines would be written, and he'd just read off the cards without him having to memorize his lines, because as we all know, his memory was never that good, and he had, even when he first became the Doctor, he had a habit of like messing up some of his lines, which, looking at it, it's kind of funny, you know. It's like an ongoing game if you watch or listen to a Hartnell Doctor Who and just pick out all the fluff lines. But at the time, you have to realise that even when he's given huge pieces of dialogue, Hartnell it's inevitable that Hartnell would fluff the line. I mean, and it's not like I can blame Hartnell for this. I mean, he's a terrific actor, but at the same time, yeah, it's the old age syndrome, which I'm not making fun of, you know, honestly, that the mind just doesn't work as well as memory doesn't work as well as it used to. And sadly, I don't think it would have done in Hartnell's case when he became the Doctor, but considering he was still relatively young, he was middle-aged when he took on the role of Doctor Who. But then having his lines written on these cards that he could just read off instead of him learning the script, it's a bold move, you know. And I'd really give kudos to the production team for that. Anyway, back to the story. So the TARDIS is sent first to the antimatter dimension, and they find loads of stuff on arrival. They find the water cooler, the Brigadier's computer, which is obviously nothing like the computers we have today, and of course Bessie, thank God. And then later on, unit headquarters arrives in this alternate dimension, the antimatter world. I'm just going to call it the antimatter world. And the Brigadier, being the Brigadier, doesn't understand it, doesn't believe it. He's like, no, somebody's moving. He's just like, no, somebody's moving the base to a beach. We've been plagued by tourists. Or along those lines, you know. Again, worried that his maximum security base will be compromised by all these tourists. Anyway, but also, I remember earlier on, it was backtracking a bit, when the second Doctor appears, and he sees the second Doctor's like, Doctor, you changed back to your normal appearance. Because, really, the second Doctor was the only Doctor the Brigadier had properly known. And he doesn't believe that that the second Doctor was sent by the Time Lords to help the third Doctor. He's just like, no, I don't care. My Doctor is back. Yes! And then, of course, we come to everybody's favourite Rice Krispie Square, everybody's favourite bubbly Rice Krispie squared, mashed up looking monster, the gel guards. Really, it's just basically, it's like a cloth with a nice little plastic eye and this map with like huge Rice Krispies all over them. It's so funny. And basically they are probably one of the most useless Doctor Who bad villains I have ever seen. And I've seen some pretty bad ones. The Monoids and the Crotons, anyone? Anyway, the gel guards all work for Omega. I love Omega. Omega is cool. Aside from the doctors, Omega is what made this story for me. And he basically wants to wage revenge on the Time Lords, basically. Just to, because like, oh, they forgot about me. They left me to die in this antimatter universe. I'm so angry with the Trumps. Give me your TARDIS. And I'm just, it's like, dude, the Time Lords tried to rescue you. It's not their fault you died. You went in there in your own accord. It's your own damn fault that you got trapped in this universe. Anyway, so basically the Doctor believes him, as you do, but fake believes him, as and works together, and then the third Doctor's like, what's this? Show YouTube got and makes this video, and you just bash it up. Do you imagine me do all this stuff to make it happen? And then the Doctor's like, Omega's like, are you sure he's got the same intellect as you? Yeah, that's why we all love this thing, Doctor. I know I've gotten some of the lines wrong, but after watching it, it's kind of hard to remember some of the lines. But they're close enough approximation. Anyway, and when the orders Omega, biggest piece of the episode, was when Omega ordered them to take off his mask. I mean, they take off his mask a little bit, and they just stream back now. I was like, we can't take back your mask off your mask. And then Omega's just like, what? And he looks back, because you do not have a face. I was like, what? No. Yeah. And then basically, Recorder becomes the item that saves the day, because on arrival, the Recorder is the only matter thing that came through in the TARDIS. And when they let it drop, and the thing just exploded. And you know what happens when matter and antimatter come into contact with each other? Trouble! And that's for the antimatter universe is closed. Energy is restored to the Time Lord's planet. The Doctor is granted his freedom. That's it. Kablamo! Sorry about that, had a little bit of a brain freeze. Anyway, so basically, antimatter universe is sealed. Time Lords get their energy back to their planet and grant the Doctor his freedom and gratitude. And as for Omega, well, I'm sure he'll never bother anyone again. And one of the best lines of the episode for me is at the end when Mr. Ollis comes back and the guy's like, where are you? You have your data, sir. We've been sorry for you. Well, why are you going to save yourself, Arthur Ollis? And Ollis just looks at his wife and just goes, you'd never believe me, woman. Supper ready? Yeah, basically. And then just walks in and has his tea. I love Mr. Ollis. Mr. Ollis is cool. So basically, that's my review of The Three Doctors. And how does it hold up? It's awesome! The characters are great. The banter between the Doctors is just fantastic, and giving inklings of some of the relationship that we'll see between Troughton and Pertwee in the Three Doctors when the Five Doctors when they're all gathered in, which I'm also going to be reviewing for this season in my 11th Face the Doctor Who review season. Some of the supporting characters, mainly Dr. Tyler and Mr. Ollis, are just fantastic. The Brigadier and Benson, brilliant as always. And as for Omega, he is one badass villain. I swear to God. Stephen Moffat, bring him back for Series 8. I don't care how you do it, bring him back. So, overall, Three Doctors, 10 out of 10. It's just a fantastic episode, and I highly recommend you get it. Either the original version release, although try not get it from Play.com, because I've seen it go for like €60 on Play.com. Or get it in the special edition in the Reeves Stations box set. Either way, because it's just a fantastic episode, and it is guaranteed that you shall enjoy it. And that does it for this review. And sadly, the end of the current first season of Whothoughts. I can't believe it. 8 episodes gone and calling it quits. Yeah. But don't worry, season 2 is in commission. I'm just going to be taking a break from this series for a little while. I'd like to thank all of you who have watched this fantastic upstart season, and hopefully by the time I come back for season 2 it'll be better. And season 2 of course will be continuing the 11 Faces of Doctor Who season with my Tom Baker story, which sadly I also only have 3 of. I'm not going to be doing The Leisure Hive because it's not that good of a story. So it'll either be between Pyramids of Earth or City of Death. So when you come back for season 2, it'll either be a horror story or the story. Whoops! Just when I'm finishing up, it'll be the story, one of the horror stories, or the one that Douglas Adams wrote. Well, one of the ones that Douglas Adams wrote. He only wrote 2. Well, 3 if you count Shada. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see all of you next season for my Tom Baker story review in continuation of the 11 Faces of Doctor Who season. And that'll all recommence in season 2 of Whothoughts. Until then, this is Decepti saying, see you around. Nah, I'm just joking. Well, sort of, I'm not going to be taking that long away from that. I mean, if you're looking at that, maybe I'm going to be going, oh no, he'll probably be gone for like 8 weeks. I'm not, I'm only going to be gone for 2 weeks. And then at the end of those 2, and then 2 weeks later, Who Thought season 2 will commence. So don't worry, just to let you in advance warning, in case you think I've gone for a long time. So yeah, until, let me bring up the calendar, the 30th of June. Yeah, so until June the 30th for the kickoff of season 2 of Whothoughts. Bye bye.